What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why Ni no Kuni 3, as well as Level 5, why they're in some deep trouble. I want to talk about this story that came out early in the day yesterday, and to be quite honest with you, probably wouldn't affect, and it probably won't affect a large amount of gamers, but to me, Ni no Kuni is very important to me. There's other games that Level 5 as well, publishes and puts out there as well, that I do think would kind of bring a hole, it would have a hole in the life of a lot of different gamers. So I want to go over this news story and talk about the potential ramifications. So Level 5 shutters its U.S. operations. This comes from PSU. That's at least according to sources familiar with the situation at the Japanese developer, which claims that Level 5 International America and spin-off outlet Level 5 Abbey started winding down operations in mid-2019, which included letting go the majority of staff at both offices. It's currently unknown exactly how many people were affected by a layoff, so no clear reason for the decision was given. However, sources close to Abbey say that individuals were given every indication that the company would be besetting its doors. Now, I saw that they laid off a couple, tens of people, that the studios that were here in America anyway were not very big in the first place. I saw that in a different place. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Elsewhere, I'm not even going to try say his name, Yukari, COO of Level 5 Abbey and head to day-to-day operations, reportedly departed the studio earlier in the year, although her positions is still listed on LinkedIn. Back in July last year, Level 5 International America revealed that it was shuttering its design department with 2 employees laid off at the time. As such, this puts the future of Western releases of future Level 5 titles in doubt, and one source claims, and this is the biggest part, one source claims there are no firm plans to release any more games from the company outside of Japan. Level 5 has found huge success in Western markets with Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch and Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. Now, it talked about how there's other games out there, and now, to be quite honest with you, I don't remember the game, but there's a couple of them, one of which was talked about a Western release all the way back in 2018 that it did actually release in Japan, but there's literally been nothing, that the American Twitter accounts specifically for Level 5 haven't tweeted in over a year. So that's scary. It's like I said, it's a little bit more scary when you look at that there is some games out there, even right now, that are in limbo, that have already released in Japan but are not releasing, or at least there's no word on what's going on here, but they should. And then there's also games that are very close to coming out from Level 5 that had previously been talked about that would come out around the world, but now only may come out in Japan. To me, now again, I don't want to discredit the games. I know I'm already discrediting them because I can't remember their names, but to me, Ni no Kuni is the biggest. I agree with PlayStation Universe. Ni no Kuni is the biggest thing I think people know them from. Ni no Kuni 1, I think, was such a surprise hit. But remember, this game, especially the second one, right, being a PlayStation exclusive, it became very popular. And these are one of those games, I would say it's probably a little bit more of a popular game than a Gravity Rush, but these are not games that sell tens of millions of copies, okay? But this game, I believe Ni no Kuni 2 sold somewhere in the range of 2 to 4 million units. So it's not like it sold nothing. It's popular. We know that there is a Ni no Kuni 3 coming. They've talked about that. They've said that development has already started on it for actually years at this point. So that's very good news. That's a game that I'm very passionate about. I'm very excited about. And if it only comes out in Japan now, that would be very annoying. There are ways of getting it, right, of figuring that out, but they're not easy. They're not fun. I would just prefer that the game would make it to Western markets. To me, a story like this, or a discussion like this is kind of more. Now again, it's a smaller publisher that doesn't do that many games I think are fully recognized over here in the United States, or in the UK. And there's a lot of people that watch me. They're in the UK or in Canada. Everywhere but Japan, let's just say, right? If they only release these games in Japan, that's a big issue. And again, to me, when people talk about console wars, right? And I'm not, I keep saying that I'm not a part of it. Obviously, I talk about them. Obviously, PlayStation's my console that I feel more comfortable with, right? It's the one that I'm just, have played, more, that I'm getting the PS5. People can say that I've picked a side or whatever, but when we talk about console wars, to me, this is more heartbreaking because at least for a console war, if you even want to say that, well, you just get the other console. And that's kind of how I've always, stood by it. It's like I'm not really picking a side, because if Xbox has games that I want to get, I will 1000%, I promise, I will buy a Series X or a Series S, and I will play those games. The games will pull me to wherever I need to go. If I need to get a PS5, I will. If I need to get an Xbox, I will. If I need to get a Nintendo console, which I already have the Switch, right? I will, okay? That's different than this, which, again, smaller games, maybe not so, well-known games, but this is, I would say, worse, because you just can't get them. If you're not in Japan, you now have a much harder, job of getting these games. So for this, it's like they've just decided that, it's not worth it to release their games outside of Japan. So that's very heartbreaking to me, because if that happens to Ni no Kuni 3, which I don't want to say looks more likely, because, in all honesty, maybe Sony could get in. Maybe Sony could help them. I mean, that's very... the thing is, too, like Level 5, but if you publish it through Sony, okay, again, Level 5 is also a developer, so that's an issue. You know what I mean? The Sony, can they help them out publishing it over, not in just Japan, right? I'd like to see a way for Ni no Kuni 3 to come out. If it's only in Japan, that really sucks, because, again, that's not a console holding you back, because you can just buy a console. I mean, yes, obviously, it's expensive. You may not have the means to do it, but eventually, you could get the console for the game. But if the game is just not sold in your territory, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what console you have, doesn't matter how much money you have. I mean, yeah, again, you could probably, get it from Japan in some way, but it wouldn't be easy, and it also wouldn't be very cheap, right? So to me, this is a pretty negative thing. I woke up yesterday. I mean, obviously, you guys are seeing this a day after this came out, but when I saw this news, I was like, you know what? I'm surprised not that many people, in fact, nobody that I saw on YouTube, there's a couple people on Twitter that I saw talking about this. To me, this is a big deal. Again, just for Ni no, I mean, I got to be honest with you guys, just for Ni no Kuni. I really don't know any other Level 5 games, but for Ni no Kuni, it's a really, really big deal to me. I love these games so much, both of them. The second game, I think, is phenomenal, one of the best games of that year that it came in. I played it several years after it came out, but I absolutely adore that game, and I would pick up Ni no Kuni 3. In fact, I bought Ni no Kuni 2 day one, played it, then stopped for a while. Ni no Kuni 3, I mean, I would hopefully be able to buy and play day one and just go from there. These games are very, very special. So hopefully Sony or somebody else can kind of jump in to help them be, publish their games outside of Japan, and so maybe they don't even need those other offices. It's okay if they close them all out, but we'll have to see how that all goes. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Does this affect you? Is this a big deal to you? I get it. It's a smaller thing. It's a smaller game. To me, it's a big deal. I'm just interested to see what you guys think. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.